Hello, it's another influential edition of Trends. We're at our pop-up studio at the ASEAN-India Forum in Bangkok, and joining me now is Shivya Nath, Indian influencer. We're at the Royal Orchid Sheraton Riverside Hotel, and you are watching Trends. As someone who closely observes and shapes travel behaviour, what are the key trends you're seeing among Indian travellers today?
So a lot of my observation is based on Indian travelers on social media, specifically Instagram, YouTube, travel blogs and so forth. And I think the Indian traveler is really evolving. So there's the Millennials and the Gen Z. And I think they're very different from travelers who've been there before them. So for instance, one trend that I'm really seeing is that there is a lot more focus on how my travels are different from your travels. So people want, experiences which are obviously memorable, but they are also brag-worthy, share-worthy in some sense. So people do want to stay in a luxury hotel, for instance, but they also want to stay in a luxury hotel that's maybe protecting 100 acres of forest around it, that has nature trails and bird watching for travelers. Everyone wants to go on a diving or a snorkeling expedition, but they also want an expedition which helps protect the ocean. So for example, they are involved in like conservation efforts, coral replantation and so forth. And so I think there is this awareness that travel has to be a little bit more meaningful than just going somewhere and taking a pretty picture and coming back. It has to be transformative, personally for the traveler, but also has to have some impact on the places that people are visiting.
Indian travellers are becoming more experience-driven and tech-savvy. Is there rising interest in offbeat destinations and sustainable stays, immersive cultural experiences and slow travel, especially among millennials and Gen Z?
Absolutely. So I think millennials who are now decision makers, they have disposable income. They are the ones who are making a lot of decisions for the entire family or for the entire group that they are traveling with. And there is definitely a lot more emphasis on local experiences, on respectful cultural exchange. People want to go to places and really feel the soul of a place rather than just be staying in another hotel, which could be anywhere in the world. Yeah, so I think there is growing demand for sustainability among the Indian traveler, and this is mostly the younger generation of people, the Gen Z and millennials, who are a lot more aware that we want to travel and we want to have a great experience, but at the same time who are aware that the planet is going through a climate crisis, there is a biodiversity crisis. I think people are also asking questions about when we travel somewhere, how does that benefit the local community that lives there?
What are Indian travellers looking for in a destination today that may not have been a priority a few years ago?
So I think a couple of things come to mind. The first is that people now want to question why they are going somewhere. So in the past, you could have like the same cookie cutter itineraries that were sold to every Indian traveler. But now they have to be a little bit more bespoke, a little bit more customized to the preferences of what someone wants. Whether they're a culture seeker, whether they're looking to be closer to nature, whether they're looking for a gourmet culinary experience. So it really has to be a little bit more customized to their tastes and their preferences. And I think something that I think is now a fading trend in India, and I think we've had a huge discussion on that, is the availability of Indian food in the destinations that travelers go to. And I think there are, for example, ethical choices that have been made in the Indian diaspora specifically. So, there are a lot of vegetarians, there's a growing number of vegan travelers. And I think it's important to cater to those preferences, but it doesn't necessarily have to be with the Indian food. So if someone is traveling to Thailand, can we have a customized version? For example, in Thailand, we have the J food, which is essentially vegetarian and vegan. And so can we market that to Indian travelers rather than saying that you're leaving India and you're coming to another country, but you're just eating Indian food? And I think everyone's curious about experimenting with new cuisines now, as long as they cater to their, maybe ethical preferences or religious preferences.
Thailand has been a long-time favourite among Indian travellers. What should Thailand do to stay ahead of the curve and meet the new expectations of the new generation of Indian travellers? What do we need to do?
I think Thailand has so much potential, but for a very long time, Thailand has been marketed in India as Bangkok and Pattaya. And I think we all know that there is so much more to Thailand. Like there's Chiang Mai, there's Chiang Rai, there's Pai, there's Koh Lanta. And I think we need to start thinking about fresh angles to market Thailand in India so that people who have been here before, maybe they've been to Bangkok and Pattaya before, but to give them reasons to come back. And even within the city, I think there's so many hidden gems that people don't know about. And if we can just tweak our marketing to talk about, the various cultural experiences, the various natural experiences, and really give a fresh perspective to what people can experience in Thailand, I think that would be a win. I think we already have a great product, and it's just about tweaking our marketing messaging.
Yeah, it's true. I think you're spot on. Go beyond Bangkok and Pattaya, the old product. From a content creator's perspective, what kind of stories and experiences resonate most with your Indian audience when it comes to Thailand? What storytelling is there for Thailand?
I think there are some incredible stories to be told about Thailand. And just as an example, a couple of years back, I traveled to Phuket. And when you think of Phuket, you think about the beach, the sun, the sand, the sunset, which are obviously beautiful. But while in Phuket, I had the opportunity to spend some time with the Bangrong community, which is a small village of about 300 people who've been doing a lot of work to protect their mangroves. And they've developed an experience, around that, and also around like a respectful cultural exchange. So we spent a whole day kayaking in their mangroves, taking a songthang to their pineapple fields. We had the opportunity to make our own batik bags, and then also experience like their cuisine, the kind of desserts they make, which happen to be vegetarian and plant-based, caters exactly to the Indian market. And I think those are the kind of stories that are really resonating, where you bring a completely different perspective of a destination and give people a reason to go back to a place that maybe they have been to in the past, but they haven't experienced this.
How can tourism boards or travel brands better collaborate with influencers to connect with the modern Indian traveller? How can the Tourism Authority of Thailand better collaborate with you as an influencer?
I think that's a great question. I think for a long time, the influencer collaborations have also focused on specific destinations within Thailand. So for example, Bangkok and Pattaya, focusing more on shopping experiences, a little bit of culinary experiences as well. But I think it would be great to give a little bit more free rein to content creators to spend time in Thailand and really find experiences that would resonate with their audience. So really go a little bit off the beaten path to talk about things that are not typically talked about in the context of Thailand. I think to also create awareness about the great diversity of food in Thailand, how the food in northern Thailand is different from the south, how culturally Thailand is a very unique destination, and we also have some similarities, and how long we've had an exchange of trade and of ideas. So really that connection between India and Thailand as well. And I think really just giving a little bit more freedom, like creative freedom to creators to talk about Thailand in a way that they know would resonate with their audience. So I think that free rein is a little bit important.
Shivya, thanks so much for being with us here today at Trends at the ASEAN-India Forum, and for your great work influencing Indian travellers to come to Thailand. It's greatly appreciated. We'll take on board some of those tips, I think, on what we need to do as a destination to win the new generation and bring more tourism here. And enjoy the rest of the afternoon at the forum. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.